100 classroom management situations. Classroom management is an essential skill for educators to maintain an effective learning environment. Teachers often encounter situations that require thoughtful responses to ensure a positive and productive classroom atmosphere. From behavioral issues to academic concerns, here are 100 classroom management situations, each with a brief description of the situation and a recommended reaction, complete with possible dialogue to help teachers address these challenges effectively and maintain a supportive and structured learning environment. Disruptive students. A student constantly talks and disrupts the class during a lesson. The teacher calmly addresses the student without escalating the situation. Alex, I need you to listen quietly so everyone can learn. If you have something to share, please raise your hand. Unprepared students. Several students arrive without their homework completed. The teacher expresses understanding but emphasizes the importance of responsibility. I understand that sometimes things come up, but it's important to stay on top of your assignments. Let's talk after class about how we can help you manage your time better. Inattentive students. Some students are not paying attention and are instead using their phones or doodling. The teacher uses proximity and redirects attention positively. I see some of us are a bit distracted. Let's put our phones away and focus on the lesson. I promise it will be worth your while. A cheating incident. A student is caught cheating during a test. The teacher addresses the student privately to avoid public embarrassment. Jordan, I noticed you had some notes during the test. This isn't acceptable. Let's talk about how we can improve your study habits for the next test. Whatever your school's punishment is concerning cheating, enforce that. Group conflict. A group activity turns into an argument among students. The teacher intervenes to mediate and restore order. All right, everyone, let's take a deep breath. It seems like we're having a disagreement. Let's discuss this one at a time and find a solution together. A shy or withdrawn student. A student is consistently quiet and disengaged from classroom activities. The teacher gently encourages participation without forcing it. Sam, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you like to share your thoughts on it? It's okay if you prefer to listen today, but we'd love to hear from you. Bullying incident. A student reports being bullied by a classmate. The teacher takes the report seriously and addresses it promptly. Thank you for telling me. Bullying is not acceptable and we will handle this. Let's talk more about what happened so we can make sure you feel safe. Work with colleagues to address the bullying with the bully and the victim. Classroom noise level. The classroom becomes excessively noisy during a group activity. The teacher uses a signal to regain attention and lower the noise level. Class, let's bring the noise down. I need everyone's attention for the moment. Can we work on keeping our voices at a level where everyone can hear their group? Forgotten supplies. A student frequently forgets to bring necessary supplies like textbooks or pencils. The teacher addresses the issue by encouraging responsibility while offering a solution. Taylor, it seems like you've been forgetting your supplies. Let's create a checklist together that helps you remember. For today, you can borrow what you need, but let's work on being prepared. Late arrivals. Students frequently arrive late to class. The teacher sets clear expectations and consequences for tardiness. It is important to be on time so we can all start together. If you're late, please quietly take your seat and catch up quickly. Let's try to be on time from now on. Parent complaint. A parent complains about a grade their child received. The teacher listens carefully and explains the grading criteria clearly. I understand your concern. Let's look at the assignment and the rubric together so I can explain how the grade was determined. Missing assignments. A student consistently does not turn in assignments. The teacher discusses the issue privately with the student. I've noticed you're missing several assignments. Is there something going on preventing you from completing them? Let's find a way to help you get back on track. Classroom cleanliness. The classroom is often left messy after activities. The teacher implements a clean up routine. Before we leave today, let's make sure our workplace is tidy. Everyone is responsible for their own area. Let's work together to keep our classroom clean. Technology issues. Students struggle with using new technology during a lesson. The teacher provides additional support and resources. I see some of us are having trouble with the new software. Let's take a few minutes to go over the basics again. If you need extra help, please let me know. Low participation. Few students participate in class discussions. The teacher uses strategies to encourage more participation. Let's hear from someone who hasn't spoken yet. Remember, all opinions are valuable. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts. Unruly behavior on field trips. Students behave inappropriately during a field trip. The teacher addresses the behavior immediately and reinforces expectations. Remember, we are representing our school. Let's show our respect for the surroundings and follow the rules. If the behavior continues, there will be consequences. Emergency drill confusion. Students are confused during an emergency drill. The teacher calmly instructs and reassures the students. Let's review our emergency procedures again. It's important to stay calm and follow the instructions carefully. If you have any questions, please ask. Forgotten permission slips. Several students forget to bring signed permission slips for a trip. The teacher contacts parents to secure verbal permission and reminds students about deadlines. It's important to return permission slips on time. I'll call your parents to confirm, but let's make sure this doesn't happen again. Cultural insensitivity. A student makes a culturally insensitive comment. The teacher addresses the comment respectfully and educates the class. That comment is not appropriate. Let's talk about why it's important to respect all cultures and how we can be more mindful of our words. Unfinished classwork. Many students do not finish their classwork on time. The teacher assesses if the task was too challenging or if time management was the issue. Let's talk about why we didn't finish. Was the assignment too difficult? Or do we need to work on managing our time better? We'll adjust accordingly. Emotional outburst. A student has an emotional outburst in class. The teacher calmly helps the student step outside to talk privately. Let's take a break and talk about what's bothering you. It's okay to feel upset, but let's find a way to handle it together. Forgotten homework. A student frequently forgets homework at home. The teacher works with the student to develop organizational skills. Let's create a checklist to make sure you have everything you need before you leave home. This will help you remember your homework. Teasing between students. Students teach each other, leading to hurt feelings. The teacher addresses the teasing immediately and fosters a respectful environment. Teasing can be hurtful. We need to treat each other with respect. Let's talk about how our words can affect others and agree to be kinder. Student distracted by personal issues. A student is distracted and not focused due to personal issues. The teacher offers support and flexibility. I can see you're having a tough day. If you need to talk or take a break, let me know. We'll figure out a way to help you stay on track. Misunderstanding instructions. Students misinterpret the instructions for an assignment. The teacher clarifies the instructions and checks for understanding. It looks like there was some confusion about the instructions. Let's go over them again. Does everybody understand now? Sometimes I ask my students to repeat the instructions to me. Incomplete group work. Group projects are not completed because some members did not contribute. The teacher addresses the issue with the group and discusses accountability. It's important that everyone contributes to group work. Let's talk about how we can divide the tasks fairly and ensure everyone participates. Excessive talking during tests. Students talk during a test, disrupting others. The teacher reminds students of test protocols and enforces them. Remember, we need to be silent during tests to respect everyone's focus. If you have a question, raise your hand and I'll come to you. Unfair treatment perception. A student feels they are being treated unfairly by the teacher. The teacher listens to the student's concerns and addresses them respectfully. Let's talk about what happened and see how we can resolve any misunderstandings. Your feelings are important to me. Overcrowded classroom. The classroom is overcrowded. making it difficult to manage. The teacher uses strategic seating and classroom management techniques to maintain order. Let's make the most out of our space by organizing our desks efficiently. We'll also establish clear rules to help us manage better. Inappropriate use of internet. Students use the internet for non-educational purposes during class. The teacher sets clear rules and monitors internet use. The internet should be used for classwork only. If you're caught using it otherwise, there will be consequences. Let's stay focused on our tasks. Lack of engagement during remote learning. Students show low engagement during remote learning sessions. The teacher incorporates interactive elements and checks in frequently. I know remote learning can be challenging. Let's try some interactive activities to keep things interesting. Please let me know if you have any issues staying engaged. Misbehavior in the hallways. Students misbehave in the hallways between classes. The teacher addresses the behavior and reinforces school-wide expectations. What happens in the hallways affects everyone. Let's remember to walk quietly and respect others' space. There are consequences for not following these rules. Inconsistent grading concerns. Students complain about inconsistent grading. The teacher reviews the grading criteria and ensures consistency. Let's go over the rubric together to ensure everyone understands how grades are assigned. Student with a learning disability. A student with a learning disability struggles to keep up. The teacher provides additional support and accommodations. I want to make sure you succeed. Let's work on some strategies and accommodations that can help you with your learning. We're in this together. Frequent absences. A student frequently misses class. The teacher contacts the student and parents to discuss the impact of absences. Regular attendance is important for your success. Let's talk about why you're missing class and how we can help you be here more consistently. Disrespectful attitude. A student shows a disrespectful attitude towards the teacher. The teacher addresses the behavior calmly and respectfully. Your attitude is not acceptable. We need to treat each other with respect. Let's talk about why you're feeling this way and how we can improve our communication. Poor test performance. Many students perform poorly on tests. The teacher reviews the test results and provides additional support. It looks like this test was challenging for many of us. Let's go over the material again and discuss any areas of confusion. We'll work together to improve. Noise during silent reading. Students are noisy during silent reading time. The teacher reinforces the importance of quiet during reading. Silent reading time is just that, silence. Let's respect this time for everyone to read quietly. If you finish early, you can start on another quiet activity. Overwhelmed student. A student feels overwhelmed by the workload. The teacher offers support and helps prioritize tasks. I understand you're feeling overwhelmed. Let's break down your tasks into smaller, more manageable steps and prioritize what needs to be done first. Disrespect between peers. Students are disrespectful towards each other. The teacher facilitates a discussion on respect and community. We need to treat each other with respect. Let's discuss how our words and actions affect our classmates and agree on how to improve our interactions. Inconsistent participation. A student participates inconsistently in class. The teacher encourages consistent participation and offers support. I've noticed you participate some days more than others. Is there something going on? Let's find a way to help you feel more comfortable participating regularly. Transition time chaos. Students become chaotic during transition times between activities. The teacher establishes clear procedures for transitions. Transitions should be smooth and orderly. Let's practice moving from one activity to another quietly and efficiently. I'll give clear signals for when it's time to transition. Lack of respect for property. Students don't respect school property or materials. The teacher emphasizes the importance of respect for property. We need to take care of our school and materials. Let's talk about how we can respect and take care of our resources to ensure everyone can use them. Homework copying. Students are caught copying homework from each other. The teacher addresses the issue and emphasizes academic integrity. Copying homework is not acceptable. It's important to do your own work to truly learn the material. Let's discuss the consequences and how we can prevent this in the future. Health and safety violation. Students don't follow health and safety rules. The teacher reinforces the importance of health and safety. Following health and safety rules is crucial for everyone's well-being. Let's review the rules and why they are important. There will be consequences for not following them. Student feeling left out. A student feels left out during group activities. The teacher ensures inclusivity and checks in with the student. It's important that everyone feels included. Let's talk about how we can make sure you feel part of the group. I'll also remind everyone about the importance of including all classmates. Unfinished classroom projects. Students don't finish classroom projects by the deadline. The teacher reviews the project timeline and offers extensions if necessary. Let's look at why the projects weren't finished on time. We'll adjust our timeline if needed and set smaller deadlines to help you manage your work. Difficult parent-teacher conference. A parent becomes confrontational during a conference. The teacher remains calm and focused on constructive dialogue. I understand your concerns. Let's focus on finding solutions that will help your child succeed. How can we work together to support them better? A student with attention deficit. A student with ADHD struggles to stay focused. The teacher provides strategies and accommodations to help the student focus. Let's try some strategies to help you stay focused, like breaking tasks into smaller steps and taking short breaks. We'll find what works best for you. Poor group dynamics. Group work is hindered by poor dynamics among students. The teacher facilitates team building activities and sets clear work expectations. Let's work on our teamwork skills. We'll have some activities help us improve our group dynamics and set clear roles for each member. Parent over interference. A parent frequently interferes with classroom decisions. The teacher sets boundaries while acknowledging the parent's concern. I appreciate your involvement, but it's important to allow some independence in my classroom. Let's discuss how we can balance your support with my teaching methods. Student with chronic illness. A student with chronic illness frequently misses school. The teacher works with the student and parents to accommodate their needs. I want to support you as best I can. Let's come up with a plan to help you stay caught up with your work and accommodate any needs you have. Inappropriate jokes. A student makes an inappropriate joke during class. The teacher addresses the joke firmly and explains why it's inappropriate. That joke was not appropriate for the classroom. We need to maintain a respectful environment. Let's talk about why it was wrong and ensure it doesn't happen again. Frequent outbursts. A student frequently has outbursts during class. The teacher works with the student to identify triggers and coping mechanisms. I notice you've been having some outbursts. Let's talk about what's causing them and how we can work together to manage your emotions better. Group leader dominance. A group leader dominates the work and doesn't allow others to contribute. The teacher guides the group on balanced participation. It's important for everyone to have a chance to contribute. Let's discuss how we can share the responsibilities more evenly in the group. Inappropriate physical contact. Students engage in inappropriate physical contact. The teacher addresses the behavior and reinforces personal boundaries. Physical contact like that is not acceptable. We need to respect each other's personal space. Let's review our rules about physical boundaries. Vandalism. Vandalism is discovered in the classroom or school property. The teacher addresses the seriousness of vandalism and encourages responsibility. Vandalism is a serious issue. It's important to respect our school property. If anyone has information, please come forward so we can address it properly. Social media issues. Conflicts arise from social media interactions outside of school. The teacher addresses the issue and promotes respectful online behavior. What happens online can affect our school life. Let's talk about respectful behavior on social media and how to handle conflicts appropriately. Student with anxiety. A student with anxiety struggles with participation and tests. The teacher provides support and accommodations for the student's anxiety. I understand you feel anxious. Let's find strategies to help you feel more comfortable, like taking breaks during tests or having a quiet space to work. Overly competitive students. Competition among students becomes unhealthy. The teacher promotes healthy competition and teamwork. Competition is great, but it should be healthy and positive. Let's focus on supporting each other and celebrating everyone's achievements. Misuse of shared resources. Students misuse shared resources like library books or lab equipment. The teacher emphasizes the importance of respecting shared resources. We all need to share and take care of these resources. Let's review how to use them properly and the consequences for misuse. Classroom temperature issues. The classroom temperature is uncomfortable, causing distractions. The teacher adjusts the environment as much as possible and addresses concerns. I know the temperature is not ideal. Let's make the best out of it by dressing appropriately and staying focused. I'll see if we can do something about it. Uneven workload distribution. Some students feel they have an uneven workload in group projects. The teacher helps redistribute tasks and ensure fairness. It's important that everyone contributes equally. Let's review the tasks and make sure everyone has a fair share of the work. Student with speech issues. A student with speech difficulties feels self-conscious participating. The teacher provides a supportive environment and alternative ways to participate. It's okay to take your time when speaking. If you're more comfortable, you can share your thoughts in writing. We all appreciate your contributions. Misbehavior during assemblies. Students misbehave during school assemblies. The teacher reinforces assembly behavior expectations beforehand. Assemblies are a time to listen and learn. Let's review how we should behave and consequences for not following the rules. Disinterest in subject matter. Students show disinterest in the subject being taught. The teacher incorporates engaging activities and relates the material to students' interests. I understand this topic might not be exciting. Let's try and connect it to things you care about and make it more engaging. Poor classroom acoustics. Poor acoustics make it hard for students to hear the teacher. The teacher uses a microphone or changes seating arrangements to improve audibility. Let's adjust our seating so everyone can hear better. I'll also try to speak more clearly and use any available technology to help. Playground conflicts. Conflicts arise during recess or playground time. The teacher discusses conflict resolution strategies and sets playground rules. Recess should be a fun time for everyone. Let's talk about how we can resolve conflicts peacefully and follow our playground rules. Language barriers. A student with limited proficiency in the classroom language struggles to keep up. The teacher provides language support and visual aids to assist comprehension. I know it's difficult learning in a new language. Let's use visual aids and extra support to help you understand the lessons better. Incomplete science experiments. Students don't complete science experiments due to lack of time. The teacher adjusts the schedule or provides extra time for completion. Science experiments are important. Let's adjust our schedule to ensure we have enough time to complete them and understand the results. Peer pressure issues. A student feels pressured by peers to engage in negative behaviors. The teacher discusses peer pressure and how to handle it. Peer pressure can be tough. Let's talk about how you can make your own choices and stand up to negative influences. You can always come to me if you need support. Unresponsive to feedback. A student is unresponsive to constructive feedback. The teacher works with the student to understand the feedback and its importance. Feedback is meant to help you improve. Let's discuss why it's important and how you can use it to your advantage. Disruptive student during independent work. A student disrupts others during independent work time. The teacher reminds the student of the expectations and provides a quiet workspace. Independent work time is for quiet and focus. Let's find you a spot where you can work without distraction and review our expectations. Why don't you come sit next to me? Sometimes I ask the student to come and sit at my desk so we can work together. Overly protective parents. A parent is overly protective and interferes with the student's independence. The teacher communicates the importance of fostering independence. It's important for your child to develop independence. Let's work together to support them in becoming more self-sufficient while still providing the necessary guidance. Frequent requests for help. A student constantly asks for help, indicating a lack of confidence. The teacher builds the student's confidence by encouraging problem solving. I believe in your ability to solve this. Try it on your own first, and then we can review it together. Building confidence takes time, and you're doing great. Distracted by outside events. Students are distracted by events happening outside the classroom. The teacher closes the blinds or moves students to reduce distractions. Let's minimize the distractions from outside by closing the blinds and refocusing on our work. If needed, we can move to a quieter area. Overloaded with homework. Students feel overwhelmed by the amount of homework. The teacher reviews the homework load and adjusts if necessary. Let's discuss the homework load. It's important to balance learning with other activities. I'll adjust the assignments to ensure they're manageable. Inappropriate attire. A student comes to school wearing inappropriate clothing. The teacher addresses the issue privately and respectfully. Your attire doesn't meet our dress code. Let's talk about what is appropriate for school and why it's important. You may need to change or cover up. Negative body language. A student displays negative body language, indicating disengagement or defiance. The teacher addresses the body language and underlying issues. I've noticed your body language seems a bit off. Is something bothering you? Let's talk about how you're feeling and how we can address any issues. Classroom clown. A student constantly makes jokes and disrupts the class for attention. The teacher redirects the student's energy positively and sets clear boundaries. It's great to have a sense of humor, but there's a time and place for jokes. Let's focus on our lesson now, and maybe you can share a joke at an appropriate time. Distracted by gadgets. Students are distracted by gadgets like fidget spinners or toys. The teacher sets clear rules about when and where gadgets can be used. Gadgets can be helpful, but they shouldn't distract you or others. Let's agree on times when it's appropriate to use them. Unclear assignment instructions. Students are confused by unclear instructions for an assignment. The teacher clarifies the instructions and checks for understanding. It looks like the instructions weren't clear. Let's go over them again and make sure everyone understands what to do. Allergies in the classroom. A student has severe allergies that affect classroom activities. The teacher ensures the classroom environment is safe and accommodates the students' needs. It's important to keep our classroom safe for everyone. Let's review what we need to avoid and ensure that we have a plan in place for any allergic reactions. Cyberbullying incident. A student reports being cyberbullied by a classmate. The teacher takes the report seriously and follows the school's cyberbullying policy. Thank you for telling me. Cyberbullying is serious and we will address it immediately. Let's talk about what happened and ensure you feel safe. Write down what the student says and report to a senior teacher or admin. Student group dynamics. Group dynamics are difficult, leading to conflict and inefficiency. The teacher facilitates discussions on teamwork and assigns roles to improve collaboration. Group work can be challenging. Let's assign specific roles and discuss how we can improve our teamwork. Everyone's contribution is important. Students need to leave school early for sporting event or class trip. The teacher reminds the students of rules of how they should leave the class. They should be quiet and be respectful. Everyone, it's time for you to leave on your trip. Remember to leave quietly and take all your things. Enjoy your time and I'll see you tomorrow. Misuse of school email. Students misuse school email for personal or inappropriate messages. The teacher addresses the misuse and reinforces email etiquette and rules. School email should be used for educational purposes only. Let's review the rules and consequences for misuse. It's important to communicate respectfully and appropriately. Disruptions during a guest speaker event. Students are disruptive during a guest speaker's presentation. The teacher sets expectations for respectful behavior and addresses disruptions immediately. Having a guest speaker is a privilege. Let's show respect by listening quietly and asking thoughtful questions. Disruptions will not be tolerated. Lack of motivation. A student shows a lack of motivation and interest in schoolwork. The teacher works with a student to identify interests and set goals. I've noticed you seem unmotivated. Let's talk about what interests you and set some goals to make your schoolwork more engaging. Incomplete lab reports. Students consistently turn in incomplete lab reports. The teacher reviews the requirements and provides a clear structure for reports. Lab reports are important for understanding our experiments. Let's review the structure and requirements to ensure everyone knows what to include. Overly competitive parents. Parents put excessive pressure on their child to excel academically. The teacher discusses the impact of pressure and promotes a balanced approach. It's great that you support your child's education, but too much pressure can be harmful. Let's work on a balanced approach that encourages both success and well-being. Bullying outside of school. A student reports bullying that occurs outside of school. The teacher takes the report seriously and follows school policy to address the bullying. Bullying is serious, whether it happens in or outside of school. Let's discuss what happened and ensure you feel safe. We'll take the necessary steps to address it. Classroom supply shortage. There is a shortage of classroom supplies for activities. The teacher improvises with available resources and seeks donations if needed. We're short on supplies, but let's be creative with what we have. I'll also look into getting more materials for future activities. Miscommunication with administration. Miscommunication between the teacher and school administration causes issues. The teacher addresses the miscommunication and seeks to clarify and resolve issues. It seems there was a miscommunication. Let's discuss what happened and how we can improve our communication to avoid future issues. Unprepared for a substitute. The class is unprepared and misbehaves when a substitute teacher is present. The teacher sets clear expectations for behavior with substitutes and reviews them with the class. When I'm not here, it's important to respect the substitute teacher. Let's review our expectations and ensure we maintain our usual standards. Unplanned fire drill. An unplanned fire drill disrupts a crucial lesson. The teacher handles the drill calmly and resumes the lesson effectively. Safety drills are important, even when they interrupt our plans. Let's quickly and safely return to our lesson and pick up where we left off. Poor digital citizenship. Students demonstrate poor digital citizenship during online activities. The teacher educates the students on digital citizenship and appropriate online behavior. Being a good digital citizen is important. Let's review what that means and how we can practice respectful and responsible behavior online. Cultural differences in behavior. Cultural differences lead to misunderstandings in behavior. The teacher educates the class on cultural diversity and promotes inclusivity. Our class is diverse, and it's important to understand and respect different cultures. Let's learn more about each other's background and how we can be more inclusive. Overloaded with extracurriculars. A student is overwhelmed by extracurricular activities affecting academic performance. The teacher discusses time management and helps prioritize commitments. Balancing extracurriculars and academics can be tough. Let's talk about how you can manage your time effectively and prioritize your responsibilities. Conflict with school policies. A teacher disagrees with a new school policy affecting their classroom. The teacher seeks to understand the policy and communicates concerns constructively. I have some concerns about the new policy. Let's discuss how it impacts our classroom and how we can address any challenges while still complying with the rules.